Hello, Morgan. My name is January. If you want to know what's going on, first you need to get out of your apartment building. You're not safe. Hello, Morgan. It's time we spoke. My code name is January. You're not dreaming. What happened yesterday was real. If you want to know what's going on, first you need to get out of your apartment building. You're not safe. The apartment complex is locked down. Try the balcony. Good. You're in the simulation lab. Now get to the exit. I'll keep in contact. Typhon cacoplasmus. Everyone calls them mimics. Be careful what you pick up. No one has been able to stop the mimics from multiplying since they broke containment. I'm going to help you stay alive. Just a little further. That was a phantom. Typhon anthrophantasmus. Keep moving. Morgan, there. In the foyer. Grab the Neuromod you see in the display case. Normally it's a fake, but I swapped in a real one for you. The Neuromods are critical. You won't survive without using them to install new aptitudes. I've already updated your transcribe with the list you requested. Take a look. Morgan, wait. There's a Neuromod you should pick up in the foyer. Check the display case. Good, you found the Neuromod. Normally it's a fake display, but I swapped in a real one. I've already uploaded the aptitude list you prepped beforehand onto your transcribe. Take a look. Improvisation has always been your strength. You'd be dead if it wasn't. Check the IT office on the second floor. You could probably bypass the keypad now. Good thinking. You'll be ready for a medical emergency. Check the trauma center for supplies. Drugs might be helpful. Check the trauma center. Good choice. You'll have to scavenge to stay healthy. That'll be useful if you run into barricades or doors with no power. Good idea. Keep your equipment in working condition. Search the hardware labs for spare parts. You've always been good at improving existing designs. Check the security office in the lobby for weapons. Your suit will keep you alive. The hardware labs might have modules to upgrade it. If you plan on fabricating what you need to stay alive, that's a good choice. Increasing your aptitude with scientific equipment makes sense. Keep your eyes open when you get to the hardware labs. I knew you would pick that. Pragmatic. Keep your eyes open for security gear. Pragmatic. Check the security station in the lobby for weapons and ammo. I'm sure there are many TranStar personnel who wish they had stronger, faster bodies at the moment. Good. You'll need to be resilient for what's ahead. That makes sense. Better to go unheard and unseen if you can. Now, let's get you to the main lobby. You made it. Ready for your first real view of the world? I'm sorry, Morgan. You've been aboard this space station for over 3 years. There's a video you need to see. Come to your office. Earth is a long way off. You've been aboard this space station for over 3 years. There's a video you need to see, Morgan. Come to your office. Careful. I've updated your transcribe with the map of the station to help you navigate. Careful. You need to get to your office. I've updated your map. There's a video you need to see. I know you have a lot of questions. I'll transmit the location to your map. I've updated your transcribe with the map of the station to help you navigate. The code to your office is 0451. Welcome back. This has been your home for the last 3 years. The video should be on your workstation. Sorry, Morgan. Alex cut us off from the Looking Glass servers. Time to improvise. I suggest you search Dr. Calvino's workshop in the hardware labs. He invented the Looking Glass technology. You might find a way to restore the server connections there. I'm looking for another way to help you in the meantime. Good luck. The key on your desk will get you into the hardware labs. This keycard will grant you access to the labs. Morgan, you'll need this keycard to access the hardware labs. It's okay, I can wait. Sorry, Morgan. I don't know the content of the video file. Otherwise, I would tell you. Last thing, you don't have a propulsion system for your suit yet. You'll need one to maneuver. A lot of the station tech starts here. Lab equipment, special parts requests, prototypes. We should be able to fix your looking glass terminal from Dr. Calvino's workshop. The atrium to the labs is locked. You could look for the keycard, but there are probably other ways in, and you've always been good at improvising. I'm curious what you'll do. I think I know, but we'll see. The director probably has a keycard. You can locate him, or what's left of him, with the security roster. Though I'm confident you could find another way in if pressed. Calvino probably has a keycard. You can locate him, or what's left of him, with the security roster. I think that's the director of the lab. I have the sense he resented you. Unfortunate. I think that's the director of the lab. I have the sense he admired you. Unfortunate. Not surprising. You found another way in. Well done. You found him. Not surprising. Well done. That side of the lab was breached. Hard vacuum, no gravity. There's an exterior airlock in the machine shop you could use to reach him. You'll have to upgrade your suit with a propulsion system first. Every airlock has a manual seal you'll have to disengage before you can spacewalk. While engineered as a safety measure, it's irrelevant when the enemy is already inside the station. If you do go out there, I wouldn't stray far. The Typhon may have spread to the exterior. And remember, other airlocks you find will have to be opened from the inside first. Your suit has just about everything you need for microgravity, except a propulsion system. I'm sure you could fabricate one. Looks like you've already got a propulsion system, so you should be fine maneuvering. Your suit isn't designed for long spacewalks, just enough air for emergency situations. Find an O2 station or a portable tank before it's too late. That airlock won't open until you disengage the manual seal on the inside. Probably for the best. You won't know what you're getting into until it's too late.
Nice work, Morgan. Scanning now. The looking glass screens are terminals for the most part. The heavy processing happens remotely in deep storage. Assuming Alex hasn't trashed the servers, there might be an image of the video in the system's dynamic memory. We should be able to rebuild the file. Looks like Calvino has had to pull this trick a few times himself. He never liked the idea of bouncing sensitive data off satellites, no matter how good the encryption.
Nice work, Morgan. The looking glass screens are online again. Head back to your office as soon as you can. It's important you hear the rest of your message. I'll meet you there. Hello, Morgan. I'm January 2035. I'm an operator. There are many operators aboard Talos 1, but none of them are like me. I'm your Plan B. My first task was to free you from the simulation. Second task was to make sure you saw your video. Those are done. Interesting. New directives are now available to me. The Self-Destruct protocol for Talos 1 is activated by 2 arming keys. Your brother has the first. You had the second. Alex destroyed your arming key, but you hid a fabrication plan for a new one in deep storage. That's where you'll need to go next. We can worry about getting Alex's key afterwards. The Typhon are spreading fast, Morgan. You'll be racing against them. And your brother. This keycard will grant you access to the main lift and all the labs. The main lift is the fastest way to reach deep storage. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to fix the lift from here. There's another route through the Psychotronics lab. Morgan, that lab is where the Typhon broke containment. Please be careful. Next topic. You asked me to provide you with more neuromods, which I've done. Good luck, Morgan. The security station in the lobby might have weapons. Your office is relatively secure. Come back if you need to rest or use the fabricator. I'll look for more neuromods while you're gone. I have more autonomy than a typical operator. The contents of the video are sensitive. Only a flesh and blood person could handle the responsibility, I presume. You designed me to assist you. I have more instructions, but I can't access them until you've recovered both arming keys. You've been trapped in the simulation for 3 weeks. Normally, the tests are only a few days long. I have your voice. It's a tactic to ease your natural suspicion. I'm sure you realize this. I mention it so that you'll know I'm earnest. You instructed me to sabotage the test procedures if Alex ever failed to release you, or if the Typhon organisms escaped containment. Both happened. Simmons installed blank neuromods on you. That's why you could remember the previous day's test and escape. Every neuromod takes a snapshot of your brain and models what it would look like if you learned something new. Then it makes those changes. Billions of connections remapped in a matter of minutes. All made possible by our friends from outer space. Morgan? I disagree strongly with people who advocate for the removal of instructive consequences because they want to live in a world where no personal pleasure is ever denied. Morgan, please. What are you doing? Was that an accident? You're making a mistake. Shutting down. Critical failure. Critical repairs needed. Please contact Morgan Yu. Resuming. Thank you, Morgan. System restored. January protocol, online. I'm back. That was not pleasant. Wait, something's wrong. I'm talking to the lift control system. The system is telling me it's fine. It's just, the diagnostic code is changing every time I make a request. And something is preventing the car from descending. It's stuck at the top, in the Arboretum. I'll see if I can find another way up. Got it. There's a route through the Psychotronics lab. Morgan, that lab is where the Typhon broke containment. Be careful. Getting around is going to be a problem. The main lift is broken. The system is telling me it's fine. It's just, the diagnostic code is changing every time I make a request. I'll let you know if I find a workaround. Please be careful. You're heading to Psychotronics? Wait. Okay, I see. Did you already know about the main lift? It's malfunctioning. I'm not sure why, but the car is stuck at the top. There's another route through the Psychotronics lab. Morgan, that lab is where the Typhon broke containment. Please be careful. Morgan, that operator was an earlier, defective model, or something worse. Alex, the Typhon, they're all working against you. Trust yourself. Trust the video you made. We need to get the arming keys and destroy Talos 1 before it's too late. Did you find something interesting? Morgan, this is January. That operator was an earlier, defective model, or something worse. Alex, the Typhon, they're all working against you. Or something worse. Alex, the Typhon, they're all working against you. Trust yourself. Trust the video you made. We need to get the arming keys and destroy Talos 1 before it's too late. The Typhon have already demonstrated an ability to distort technology, including operator programming. Get to deep storage, Morgan. You need your arming key. I understand if you feel uncertain. I'll do everything in my power to help you and keep you safe. Head to deep storage. The more you see of Talos 1, the more you'll understand why you made the decision to destroy everything, if it's not obvious already. I'll contact you again later. I can eavesdrop on your brother's messages. We're in agreement on this one. Get through this place fast as possible. You're looking for a maintenance airlock to a utility tunnel called the Guts. It'll take you all the way to the top of the station. The psychoscope was a breakthrough. Apart from neuromods, it's the most important tech on Talos 1. Use it to scan the Typhon organisms if you want to learn what makes them tick. You invented it, by the way. Morgan, a warning. If you scan enough Typhon organisms, you'll be able to install neuromods that are powerful, but they're the reason we're in this mess. For one thing, the station's defensive turrets will identify you as an alien threat. There might be worse consequences I can't yet see. I don't want you to lose yourself. I'm sure he wasn't a good man, but you freed him anyway. I'm curious if it was compassion, or was there some other motive? I can only act in ways that advance my directive. The Typhon can only kill and destroy, but you're human. You have a choice. Morgan, did you hesitate? At all? I'm sure he wasn't a good man, but could you have done otherwise, given the opportunity? The Typhon can only kill and destroy, but you're human. You have a choice. The truth is discomforting. Every neuromod produced by TranStar contains exotic materials derived from a mimic. If you've been paying attention, you know how mimics get made. I could show you that man's criminal record, if it would make you feel better. I was afraid of this. The scientists here were in the middle of something when they died. Access to the guts is closed off during experiments, security protocol. You'll have to finish what they started. Back in the 60s and 70s, the first research teams tried to communicate with the Typhon, but this proved impossible. Their cerebral structures are highly developed and intentional, but somehow unapproachable. They have no speech of their own, no language. They don't even seem to see us. Not like we see ourselves, I mean. I'm generalizing when I say us, of course. I'm not a person. Not like you. Eradicator auto turrets. TranStar's last-ditch defense against an outbreak. Flimsy, but they're easy to fabricate. Best part is the built-in psychoscope tech. They can discriminate between alien and human targets. Shouldn't be a problem for you, since you're not an alien. Morgan, I've been wondering if it might be bothering you that you planned your own death. It's a lot to swallow. My advice would be, try not to think about the end. Focus on what's in front of you, one step at a time. I'm here, if you need help. This isn't the first time a Typhon organism has broken containment. It happened before, shortly after your initial Neuromod tests. You and Alex fought about terminating the project, evacuating, but Alex insisted he could control the situation. That's when you began implementing secret contingencies, hiding the plan for your arming key, videos, the January protocol. Your concerns have proven to be correct. These tunnels run the entire length of the station, mostly conduit carrying the bare necessities, power, water, air. But operators also use it to deliver supplies from the cargo bay up to the Arboretum. Given the small number of crew assigned here, I would expect Typhon presence to be minimal as well. But that's probably a bad assumption. Morgan, steady. That pulse hit your suit systems pretty hard. It came from the substation ahead. There's a magnetosphere around Talos 1 that keeps the sun from cooking your insides. Hopefully the generator isn't dying. For your sake, I'll be fine. The entire Typhon ecology appears to be centered around the creation of this substance. The original researchers called it coral. Beautiful. But we're not sure what its purpose is. It's never spread outside the containment cylinder. Until now. You made it. Nice work. The entrance to deep storage is off the Arboretum. Your brother's office is up here as well. Jupiter and his palace at the top of the heavens. You used to say that behind his back. But that would make you, what? Neptune? Pluto? But that would make you, what? Juno? No. That's an unpleasant thought. Morgan, are you all right? That Typhon, there's nothing in the research. Stay away from it. Morgan, that massive Typhon appeared shortly after you installed alien neuromods. You're being hunted. I warned you. Morgan, I found a satellite project dealing with remote psychotronic signaling, RPSS-X5. I think it could spoof a neural signature that matches yours. Plain English, you could use it to get that new Typhon off your back. Latest tech logs show the satellite was damaged, though. You'd have to find a replacement part. Nice work. This should get the attention of that Typhon nightmare that's hunting you. I'm sending you 2 activation signals. The first will direct the Typhon away from you. The second will bring it down on you. Use your transcribe messaging system to fire them off. Interesting. That satellite was related to a project dealing with Psychotronics signaling. I'll keep digging. It might be useful to us. Morgan, that satellite you fixed. I think we can use it to get that Typhon nightmare that's hunting you off your back. I'm sending you 2 activation signals. The first will direct the Typhon away from you. The second will bring it down on you. Use your transcribe messaging system to fire them off. While you're up there, you could look into why the lift is stuck. It'd be a lot faster and safer than having to fly through the guts again. Morgan, that Typhon is an unknown type. From what I can tell, it's the source of the problem with the lift. The Phantom you unleashed in Psychotronics had similar disruptive abilities, only this one seems more powerful. Scanning it would tell you more. Nice work. The lift is responding again. That Typhon hijacked the hardware, even the software running the system, all the way down to the machine code, reprogramming it on the fly. Fascinating and alarming. I can patch up the code. You should be fine. Take the lift if you need to move quickly between the 3 main decks on Talos 1. It has a stop in the lobby and down in life support. It's unlikely Chief Sho is still alive. I advise you follow Zachary West's strategy. Hack together voice samples. Your transcribe is equipped with the necessary software. It's how you made my voice. Danielle's cabin might be a good place to get started. You won't get into deep storage without Danielle Sho's voice. Strange. She's not showing up on any roster system. Look around. Maybe she made contact with some of the other crew. That should be enough to synthesize Danielle's voice, enough to spoof the lock on deep storage anyway. Well done finding Chief Sho. You've got what you need to get into deep storage. Also, I've been monitoring noetic field signatures around the station when I can. With humans, the signal barely registers. The Typhon make a strong ripple by comparison, but with the coral, my instrument readings are erratic. I'm not sure what it means. The sooner we get your arming key, the better. Oh, I should clarify one thing. I said the signal barely registers on humans, but when I scan you, it's on the level of a Typhon. Morgan, don't. I'm only a shallow copy of you, and I know better than to abandon Talos 1. If you leave now, you're only delaying the inevitable. Where do you think the Typhon will go next? Welcome to deep storage. If Talos 1 had a subconscious, this would be it. You're looking for the central repository. That's where you stash the drive that has the plan for your arming key. I'll see if I can find a way out of here in the meantime. Every dark bit of data that moves through the station is captured here. Redundant backup servers are stored in modules that eject in the event of a catastrophic failure. The fact that they haven't yet is telling of Alex's refusal to face reality. Good work. I was worried the drive might have been damaged. You can use the Chief Archivist's workstation to download the fabrication plan. Then we can reconstruct your arming key. Morgan, the doors aren't responding. Wait, the data vault module you're in was designed to detach from the station. Normally the command to jettison is given externally, but the schematics show a trigger on the inside as well. See if you can find it.
It's an old system. No maintenance logs. I suspect the process will be rough, but probably your best shot at getting out.
Those shipping containers are pressurized and designed to dock with those loading bays. You could use one as an improvised airlock. I wouldn't recommend this under normal circumstances. We're a long way from normal. You found Dr. Igwe. He worked in the simulation lab and in Psychotronics. He might be helpful, but he's unlikely to approve of your mission, despite everything he's suffered. Though, I will note, he's always admired you and Alex quite a bit.
Morgan, this is Dr. Igwe. I've made it to your office. I'll remain here until—
Dr. Igwe.
My word. What are you? And why are you speaking in Morgan's voice?
I am January, Morgan Yu's personal operator.
Well, January. Sorry. Your arrival was a bit of a shock. Quite a day today, you know.
If you're referring to the typhon infestation of Talos 1, Dr. Igwe, you are correct. You are one of the few survivors.
Yes. Wait. Is that fabricator functioning? I might be able to make use of it. With your permission, January.
You have authorization to work at the station, Dr. Igwe, and manufacture anything that will assist Morgan in containing the typhon.
I'll remain here in your office until you return, Morgan. I may be able to be of use. Morgan, this is Dr. Igwe. I've made it to your office.
Igwe, what are you doing here? How did you survive?
Chief Illusion. Well,
Dr. Igwe.
My word. What is that? Is that you, Morgan?
Hardly. This is January, Morgan's attempt at having a conscience. But as per usual, it's only evidence of her ego.
There's a number of responses I could make to this, Chief Ilyushin. But we are pressed for time, and Dr. Igwe is already showing signs of anxiety and disorientation.
Fine, make yourself useful, Igwe. Stand watch and keep away from the fabricator.
Yes, Chief Illusion. And, January.
This might sound strange coming from me, but I admire what you did. You didn't have to help Chief Elazar and her people in the cargo bay. Especially considering you intend to destroy the station. You gave them some hope, even if it's brief. The situation in cargo bay was difficult. You had to get through that door one way or the other. It's just regrettable others had to suffer as a result. What you're doing will prove to be for the best in the long run. Chief Elazar would have agreed, I think, as long as she wasn't still aboard, which she isn't anymore. It won't work. It's part of your brother's lockdown. The main lift in every exterior airlock. You're stuck until you can do something about it. He's trying to slow you down, Morgan, and putting everyone at risk in the process.
Alex tripped the emergency override. Main elevator's shut down. I'll see if I can find another way.
Alex tripped the emergency override. Main lifts and all external airlocks shut down. I'll see if I can find another way.
You don't remember her, but she remembers you. She hid her condition to work aboard Talos 1. When you found out, she should have been sent back to Earth. But you made an exception. I'm not sure if that makes you responsible now. She won't last long without her medication. It's up to you if you want to help her. I wondered how you would react to finding Mikhaila. You risked your life to help her. It makes me think the Neuromod extraction didn't erase everything. Not completely. Perhaps particularly strong memories still leave faint impressions, intuitive feelings, or maybe you're simply more compassionate than I expected. Are you sure it wouldn't have been better to... I don't mean to be insensitive, but when she finds out you intend to destroy Talos 1, she might react strongly given that there's no way off the station.
Made it to your office, Morgan. Haven't been here since...
I believe it was the time where your medical condition was discussed, Chief Engineer Ilyushin.
What the hell? Morgan, is that...
I am January, Morgan Yu's personal operator.
Talk about loving the sound of your own voice. All right, January. Is that Morgan's workstation? And the fabricator? Morgan, come up here when you get a chance.
Chief Ilyushin, please do not...
Made it to your office, Morgan. I guess I see where all that TranStar money goes.
Chief Illusion? You're alive!
Igwe? You made it?
Chief Engineer Ilyushin.
What the hell? Morgan, is that...
No, that is...
I am January, Morgan Yu's personal operator.
Talk about loving the sound of your own voice. So, it's the 3 of us. 4 of us. Anyone else from the labs or Psychotronics? Is that Morgan's workstation? And the fabricator?
Chief Ilyushin, please do not...
Morgan, come up here when you get a chance.
I'm sorry about Mikhaila. I wondered how you would react to finding her. It confirms what I thought. The Neuromod extraction process leaves no trace of your former memories, even particularly strong ones. Either that, or you're determined to ignore distractions. Morgan, I believe there may be a way to bypass Alex's lockdown and get you access to the main lift and external airlocks. It'll mean a return visit to the power plant. There, you'll need to reboot the station from a control panel in the main reactor. Doing this may reset the lift and airlock systems. I'm sending you the code to the reactor room. It's unfortunate you disposed of Chief Ilyushin. She could have helped you. We'll need to make do without her. It's a shame Chief Ilyushin didn't make it. She could have guided you through the procedure. It's a risk, but many more will die if you can't regain control of Talos 1. Main elevator and all exterior airlocks are fully functional again. There's nothing to stop you now. Though, you should tread carefully. The reboot damaged various integral systems. Keep an eye out for hazards on the way up. Morgan, it's not an accident your brother is the CEO of TranStar. He's persuasive. That doesn't mean he's right. Don't forget what he did to you. He abandoned you for weeks in the simulation, living the same day over and over. Then he trapped you inside deep storage. The station is overrun with Typhon. People are dead because of his decisions. Trust the plan you made. Fabricate your arming key, take Alex's, then destroy Talos 1. Trust the plan you made. Take Alex's arming key and destroy Talos 1. You're the only one who can do it. Morgan, I have bad news. Space weather instruments on the bridge show a significant spike in solar storm activity. Not a problem under normal circumstances, except the power plant reboot rattled the magnetosphere generator. We have no shielding. Well done. Investing in engineering neuromods was a wise choice. Morgan, the coral is spreading to other parts of the station. I doubt the Typhon are just going to keep building it indefinitely. It must have some end purpose. The discoveries made aboard Talos 1 seem to validate some form of panpsychism. Consciousness is a fundamental force that exists everywhere to one degree or another. It seems plausible, then, that an organism evolved which is able to metabolize complex forms of consciousness.
What are you saying? They eat other minds?
Yes.
Well, yes, in a manner of speaking.
How can something like that exist?
Perhaps the coral is a kind of reservoir of all the energy the Typhon have been accumulating.
No, I don't think so. I'd say the coral bears a striking resemblance to a nervous system.
You believe the Typhon are building a disembodied mind?
It's only a hunch. If I had more time to study it.
Studying it is what got us here in the first place.
Fascinating.
Yes. The secondary effect was a reduction in hazardous trace emissions by 13%, with the primary goal of using the space for additional processors.
So localized memory of the transcribes was important. It certainly was helpful in this emergency.
That is correct, Dr. Igwe. I was intended to act autonomously for as long as possible to assist Morgan.
And Alex, I assume?
Assisting Alex is not part of my directives, Dr. Igwe. My priorities are Earth's safety, the safety of most personnel on this station, and Morgan. Alex has threatened all three.
I see. Morgan, this is a fascinating device.
Operator, January.
Yes, January. Simply fascinating. Although, Morgan, do you recall making this operator? Because with your neuromod removal, it...
Morgan does not remember my creation or my programming. Had the SimLab experiments continued, much more may have been lost.
Yes, of course. So you placed a blank neuromod in Morgan's skull. No data, no aptitude template. Just the injection?
Technically, I only ensured it was blank. Simmons performed the install, though he was unaware.
So she stopped manifesting psionic abilities. And that's why she suffered no memory loss when the testing resumed. There was no neuromod implanted to begin with. I see now. That was very dangerous. Reckless, in fact.
The experiment itself was dangerous, and the staff were behaving in an equally reckless manner.
Now hold on.
Morgan's life and memory were at stake, Dr. Igwe. She directed me to sabotage the Neuromods in the event she became trapped in the simulation, and I followed her orders.
And that's why he suffered no memory loss when the testing resumed. There was no neuromod implanted to begin with. I see now.
Morgan, I can't imagine what it felt like. Those powers you manifested, the Typhon's abilities. You're able to use them outside of a test environment. To think, an alien race sparking our potential. Psionics, at last, within human reach. We must find a way up the station, Morgan. You need to be protected, studied. This is a scientific revolution. Don't you see?
We cannot allow any alien material to break quarantine, Dr. Igwe.
What? No. We need to get Morgan to safety.
The safety of Earth is our primary concern, Dr. Igwe.
And Morgan did not share anything else about me. Not even...
Only the details of your condition, Miss Ilyushin, and only because they might place the station in danger. Both Alex and Morgan felt you were worth the risk.
Oh, Alex knew as well.
Alex is well informed on numerous matters, and discloses few of them.
Huh. January's been showing me around, telling me, well, everything. I figured you came back because your ears were burning.
The truth of that statement is questionable on many levels, Chief Ilyushin.
Morgan, hope you don't mind. I was using your workstation.
Chief Ilyushin ignored my request to desist 13 times.
And no need to tell Morgan about the 14th time, January. I took the liberty of restocking your supplies. Found some food on the way up, left it on the desk. Don't worry, they're alien-proof. I checked them, no twitching.
Chief Ilyushin is correct. There are no Typhon cacoplasmas present.
Oh, thank you, January. I haven't been in here since you were lecturing me on my paraplexis. Thought for sure you were going to fire me. Too bad you were sweet on me. I could tell. I had been wondering why Morgan had been acting so strangely. It was like, well, she had forgotten. Everything. It was like she was seeing me for the first time. Again.
That is correct, Chief Ilyushin. Morgan's memories were reset with every neuromod removal. She was seeing you for the first time. He was seeing you for the first time.
Is the original Morgan still... Is there any way she can resurface?
I'm afraid not. Any memories since arriving on Talos 1 are lost.
Yes. That is a lot to take in. Tell me again how the decompression happened.
It was very sudden. I don't know the specifics, but I had to act quickly.
The decompression occurred due to a detonation in the cargo bay.
January, I asked Dr. Igwe.
I don't know. Perhaps an explosion or structural damage from the Typhon attack?
Which would have originated where? Psychotronics?
That is unlikely, Chief Ilyushin.
January, instead of wasting our time interrupting, go check the reployers. All of them.
That would not be relevant to my directives. No, thank you. Each volunteer was given an ID number before departure from Earth.
Their names, when they had names, the procedures proved more difficult. I'm sorry.
We can match the names to numbers now. There must be records of my father in Psychotronics.
No. Any threat to the station would have triggered a wipe. But with the disruption in power, the backups in deep storage may be intact.
That is correct. There may be some trace of your father there, but... Morgan, if you go, it's risky at best.
Morgan, if those records exist, I have to know, please. His name was Yuri Andronov, V01065532.
Chief Ilyushin, this is a complicated matter.
Shut up. You performed the procedure? That what? Killed him? And you knew? Why? You didn't know. You don't even know what you've done.
Chief Ilyushin, Morgan has no memory of the log you have watched.
Go to hell, January. You speak with her voice. You might as well be her conscience. Lack of conscience.
Morgan, that video was... I'm still checking it against my directives. But if scanning the coral will grant you access to Alex's arming key, then perhaps it's the best course. Perhaps knowing the coral's purpose will reinforce your decision to destroy Talos 1. Just be careful. We're running out of time. I've been thinking about the video Alex showed you. Your brother believes that version of you is the true Morgan. But why? Just because it came first? If someone had made you, then I suppose your truest self would be the one that fulfills whatever purpose your maker intended. I know who made me, and why. Did someone make you, Morgan? Were you made for something? If not, you'll have to invent your own purpose, or have none at all. Strangely, of all the things I know about you, I don't know what you believe. You have to decide, Morgan. Who are you? Morgan, Dahl will know you're coming. All TranStar personnel are outfitted with tracking bracelets. I have no doubt his operators are already on their way to rescue you. Those bracelets are issued and removed in deep storage, worth investigating if you want to fly under the radar. In some ways, I wonder if Dahl is worse than the Typhon.
Leave it to TranStar to send operators. No offense, January.
None taken. NCN-9s are not the same model or class. Their autonomic chips are rated far below Viceroy level.
Seems to me like someone needs their boasting chip checked.
They are NCN-9 black box operators. Rescue is not among their list of commands.
Thank you, January. I got that already.
Morgan, I was worried Dahl or his rescue team had intercepted you.
They are NCN-9 black box operators, not a rescue team. Rescue is not among their list of commands.
Yes, of course. But Dahl, his arrival may help us, as long as you have not killed him. You see, Dahl is a recipient of several neuromods, a standard array of combat, tactics, interrogation mods, as I'm sure you know. Your father, the board, is very thorough.
Dr. Igwe, please present your conclusion to Morgan.
Well, yes. You see, Dahl's mods are early C-series betas and vulnerable. As such, he has old-school thinking on some matters. If we remove them, he may forget his mission here, yet we would still have access to the shuttle and a way home, provided his piloting knowledge remains intact. It's a risk, but worth taking, I think. He'll have to be subdued, of course. I'm afraid that task falls to you.
There is no one else alive on the station who can pilot the shuttle. Miss Elazar is right to be alarmed, though her assessment is mistaken. Dahl is manipulating the oxygen and nitrogen mixture. With nitrogen flooding into the atmosphere, anyone in the cargo bay will asphyxiate far more quickly than had he simply cut the oxygen. I suspect they'd already be dead if Dahl weren't trying to use them to manipulate you. Morgan, life signs for all crew in the cargo bay are non-existent. I can't reach anyone on their transcribes. Sorry, Commander Dahl wasn't bluffing.
Morgan, is Dahl, is he dead? But that was... I mean, there were no guarantees the neuromod removal would work, but...
Igwe, you're still better off than you were in that cargo crate.
But we are trapped. Again. Only the crate is larger now.
Dr. Igwe is correct, Chief Ilyushin. There are no other means off the station. We must focus our efforts on quarantining the Typhon threat.
Very well. But I'm not sure how long we'll last, and I need to think. Igwe out.
It's by design that I can predict what you're going to do fairly often. And yet, this turn of events with Dahl, I'm impressed and surprised you've managed to find a way to get remaining crew off the station. I have no doubt they'll remember your sacrifice. Morgan, you anticipated the kind of appeal Alex would make. Sibling bonds, history. You programmed me to refute him point by point. However, we can skip that. A Typhon the size of a skyscraper is currently eating Talos 1 for lunch. Ergo, Alex is wrong. Destroy the station. Just as you planned. The blast will take the monster down with it.
Destroy the station? But didn't you hear him? The Nullwave. Alex is correct. It could work and preserve what we have learned here. We have to try. Morgan, please. There's so much to lose. Destroying the station, that should be the final option, not the first one.
Dr. Igwe, this is the only course of action with a significant probability of success.
You don't know that! Why am I arguing with a machine with nothing to lose? Morgan, the Nullwave. The science is sound. Trust your brother on this. Please.
If the idea hasn't occurred to you, I'm sure it will eventually. Don't do it. I can't predict what would happen if you scanned the apex, but all my models point to suffering. We don't have much time, Morgan. This is it. Either you destroy Talos 1, or that creature destroys us. It's an ingenious life cycle. The Typhon attacking the station is the apex of its kind. The minor Typhon organisms create the coral from the energy they harvest, mindlessly, I suspect. Meanwhile, the coral is designed to transmit a signal to the apex when it reaches critical mass, like a cosmic dinner bell. When it's done with us, where do you think it will go next, Morgan? Stop wasting time. Please. Assume Alex's plan succeeds. Then what? You're taking a massive gamble that there aren't more predators like the Typhon. In the history of the universe, humans have only recently become self-aware, yet you're going to kick the door open on a much wider and older cosmic ecology, one that feeds on consciousness. These are shark-infested waters. Alex believes we can be the bigger shark, but what if we're just poor swimmers, and now there's blood in the water? The self-destruct protocol has 2 steps. First, the arming keys are used to prime the reactor in the power plant. 2-man rule, but you're on your own. Last is the execute order issued from the bridge by the acting captain. Again, that's you. Good work. The reactor's primed and capable of delivering close to 30 megatons, more than enough. I'll meet you on the bridge for the last part. Hurry, Morgan. There won't be anything left to detonate if we're too late.
What the hell have you done?
I've simply acted on Morgan's orders.
Nonsense, you're a machine. Who programmed you?
I represent the desires of Morgan Yu, circa January 12th, 2035. Your sister created me to ensure her objectives would meet with success, and that yours would fail.
I represent the desires of Morgan Yu, circa January 12th, 2035. Your brother created me to ensure his objectives would meet with success, and that yours would fail.
Mine? There's no difference between what I want and what Morgan wants. Not the real Morgan.
The idea of a real Morgan is fiction.
There's got to be an override.
Please step away from the terminal. You've left me no choice. Morgan.
Your operators locked me out of the comm terminal. We need to link up to the Nullwave device if we're gonna get that signal off before it's too late.
Consider the risk. Alex's plan, if it works, is only a short-term solution. None of us has the right to endanger every life on Earth.
If anyone's playing God here, it's you. Your lunatic plan denies everyone a birthright to the stars.
You know how neuromods are made. The demand will only increase. In the future Alex envisions, many will die for the benefit of a privileged few.
I'm not arguing with a glorified desktop. Kill it, Morgan.
Sorry, Morgan. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. You'll have to destroy me, which means you'll be destroying yourself.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Please reconsider. Trust your former self, the one that isn't morally bankrupt. Your assessment, Morgan, not mine. I'm sorry, Morgan. I didn't want to harm your brother. The directives you gave me require I do everything in my power to ensure you destroy Talos 1 and all the Typhon. Your brother is only stunned, though obviously once you activate the self-destruct, the point is moot. You're still going to activate the self-destruct, aren't you? Please recall, I am acting on your orders. I'm aware that you've primed the arming keys to destroy Talos 1, so I find the activation of this Nullwave transmitter station puzzling. The directives you gave me require I do everything in my power to ensure you destroy Talos 1 and all the Typhon. Detonating the station safeguards the Earth, and perhaps provides a small measure of reparation. I won't relinquish control of the terminal. If you want to activate the Nullwave, you'll have to kill me.
Who? What am I talking to?
My name is January, 2035. There are many operators aboard Talos 1, but none of them are like me.
Nonsense. You're a machine. An ill-conceived one. Morgan would never. You tricked her. Who programmed you?
I represent the desires of Morgan Yu, circa January 12th, 2035. Your sister created me to ensure her objectives would meet with success, and that yours would fail.
Mine? There's no difference between what I want and what Morgan wants. Not the real Morgan.
You believe her present disposition is illegitimate because it might be rooted in the personality Drift users experience when subjected to heavy neuromod cycling. But why believe that? It's conceivable Morgan might have reached similar conclusions, but for different reasons. Can you determine how much the Drift imposed on her thinking? I cannot. You believe his present disposition is illegitimate because it might be rooted in the personality Drift users experience when subjected to heavy neuromod cycling. But why believe that? It's conceivable Morgan might have reached similar conclusions, but for different reasons. Can you determine how much the Drift imposed on his thinking? I cannot.
Oh, I've determined one thing.
What is that?
You don't know the difference between a bug and a feature.
Morgan.
Morgan? Maybe. I see a person who looks like Morgan, you.
Morgan, be cautious. Your brother is unstable. He may not permit you to activate the self-destruct. Also, he's armed.
Unstable? Is that a joke, operator? You've let this machine poison you. I wish you understood. I've bent the course of this entire station around what you wanted. I let you persuade me. And now you're gonna throw it all away? Just stop and think for one goddamn second, Morgan.
The safety is off on his firearm.
I think you've said enough. Did it tell you it's not gonna let you off the station?
Your brother is correct. When you destroy Talos 1, my directive is to ensure that you perish along with it. But you already knew that. It was your idea.
No one in their right mind would agree to such a lunatic plan.
Not true. History is populated with examples of self-sacrifice for the benefit of others.
Easy to say when it's not your skin, robot.
I'm sorry, Morgan.
You have no idea what that word means. I'm gonna put a stop to this nonsense.
Please put down your transcribe and step away from the terminal. Morgan, to be fair, I was not aware this was part of my directives until the moment you used the arming keys. Your former self compartmentalized this information from me, I suspect because you knew you might object in the final moments. Morgan, everything is ready. Now that the keys are armed, the order to execute is given from Captain Mark's terminal. I'm not able to execute. That responsibility is yours. Give the order to detonate. Captain Mark's terminal. Soon, the Apex Typhon will have invaded every quarter of Talos 1. Decide. A question. Is Morgan Yu capable of empathy beyond a small circle of interest? I'm only an operator facsimile. I cannot do it for you. It's finished. All the directives you gave me have been completed. Next and final topic. Your mind is free of significant Typhon neuromods. I believe the risk you pose to Earth is minimal. However, despite my belief, I cannot act against my directives. On the other hand, if I were to suffer irreparable system damage, I would be unable to interfere with your escape. There'd be nothing to stop you from departing with your colleagues aboard Dahl's shuttle. You already have the keycard to Alex's escape pod. In fact, I've already confiscated the keycard to Alex's private escape pod. It's in my storage compartment. I just wanted you to know that. Goodbye, Morgan. You really should go before it's too late. I'll stay. The blast will annihilate me. Goodbye, Morgan. It's finished. All the directives you gave me have been completed. All except one. When the station detonates, it will destroy the Apex Typhon and every trace of technology derived from it, including you. But you know this already. It was your idea, after all. The alien neuromods you carry would pose an unacceptable risk to everyone on Earth if you returned. I'll let your colleagues in the shuttle bay know they can leave without you. Mikhaila, this is Morgan.
Are you on your way?
I'm not going to make it.
What?
Everything's fine. I got one of the escape pods working.
Are you sure? Morgan, something's wrong.
There's no time. Trust me. I'll see you Earthside. Dahl, this is Morgan.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to make it.
Sorry to hear that.
You should get out of here. No one else is coming.
Affirmative. Shuttle is ready. Good luck to you, Morgan. Dahl out.
Sorry. You insisted I prevent your departure under these conditions. Have a seat, Morgan. You might as well enjoy the view in your final moments.
Morgan? Morgan, this is Dr. Igwe. Can you read me?
Dr. Igwe.
Morgan, good to hear your voice.
No, Dr. Igwe. This is January. Morgan has departed the station.
What? Morgan? Morgan, there must be some mistake. Please respond. Please! Morgan, I've reached Alex's pod. But I don't see...
Please enter the pod, Dr. Igwe. I will begin preparations for launch.
Morgan's not here yet.
That is correct. She has instructed me to get you off the station.
Wait, but... Morgan! Morgan!
Morgan? Morgan, can you hear me? I've detected a pod launch. I thought...
Chief Ilyushin.
Morgan, good to hear your voice.
No, Chief Ilyushin. This is January. Morgan has departed the station.
What? Morgan? Morgan, if you can hear me, please respond. Please. Morgan? Morgan, can you hear me? I've reached Alex's escape pod.
Please enter the pod, Chief Ilyushin. I will begin preparations for launch.
Where's Morgan?
Morgan has instructed me to get you off the station.
Wait, Morgan? Morgan, if you can hear me, please respond. Please.
You'd better go, Morgan, you. You're burning daylight.